Say man. Welcome back to the next episode 11 of Check the Stats podcast, man. I'm your host, T. Cal. Here to the left, we got my co-host over here, Big O, Mari. And at the bottom, we got the other host, Charles Versey. How y'all boys doing, man? So great day of basketball as we have Minnesota and Dallas playing today. Real intriguing matchup. And I mean, I can't wait to talk about it. But without further ado, man, Mari, how about you kick us off?
All right, man. What's good, y'all, man? Welcome to today's episode of Check the Stats podcast. This is episode 11 we on, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with it, get straight into it. So what's y'all analysis for the Eastern and Western, conference finals games?
Yeah, so I'll start out with the East. That Boston and Indiana series is over. We can just say that right now. They might well not even play the next two games. Tyrese Halliburton has received a hamstring injury, so that's going to limit his mobility. And he had a similar injury earlier in the year that made him miss 10 games. So I think hamstrings are kind of one of the injuries that you don't play around with. Don't really like if you push it too much, you might make it even worse. And I don't think with Tyrese Halliburton it has pretty much a chance. But now without him, it's kind of KO. Jaylen Brown kind of coming into his own. Jason Tatum, Charles Boy, very disappointing. Very disappointing. Charles, how do we go into a half with 6 points, and then you have him in the fourth quarter when the game's already over, decided now he's trying to go off and he scored 520. But that's top 10 talent in the league. Charles, give me an explanation on that real quick.
You see, when you got the necessary pieces around you to uplift you when you are down, you got pieces as well. You can do all that. You can have an off night. Besides, I understand he's been underperforming on his end, but at the same time, you would like to get these games out the way before they inevitably get to that Larry O'Brien dance. So it's glad that he's getting them out of his system.
But Charles, my only retort to that is, how can you be a number one option if I counted on my fingers, by the way, because I went through and did my research. He has had 7 underperforming games in the playoffs. Up to his standards, I counted 7. How many games has Jason Tatum played in these playoffs? 12. That's more than half of his games he's been underperforming. I think this just goes to show you right now, like, it's 1A, 1B. And to be honest, at the moment, I think Jaylen Brown is the 1A. He's coming out more aggressive. He's killing every matchup that's coming his way. And I like about Jaylen Brown that he's not afraid to get into the fray of things. He's not afraid to get to the paint and score with contact. You can tell, like, over the years, because Jaylen Brown was a skinny cat. He was a skinny cat. Over the years, he picked up the muscle, got better with his three-point shooting. Now he's a hard cover. Either way it goes. I mean, a lot of people knock his left hand, but hey, you can't stop that. You can't stop him going right. If he coming down here and dipping his shoulders, he's moving about every guard / wing in the way if you don't got enough bricks in your pocket. So I think Jaylen Brown has really emerged as the best player for the Celtics. As far as this playoff run goes, I think he's been the best player. I don't even think it's been a contest.
Yeah, for this playoff run, for sure, it's definitely been him. I can't deny it, but I don't want to have that take away from what Jason Tatum has been able to do over this entire stretch of the season. Like, yeah, this is the part that's going to be magnified the most, but at the same time, you got to think about it from the standpoint of you look at the whole landscape of things. So I just don't want to minimize what he's been doing. As far as the Eastern Conference with this analysis, yeah, Indiana it's been a great season, but it's time to go ahead and pack up for that trip to Cancun. I mean,
dang, I'm like, shoot, he's probably 2 games in. Charles already writing off.
It's like the Halliburton injury is definitely scary and it's definitely a bummer, and it sucks because Indiana, they're undefeated at home. Like this entire postseason run, they haven't lost. They haven't lost to the Bucks. They haven't lost to the Knicks. They are a damn good team when they're playing inside their home crowd. And I felt like even though we all would probably pick Boston to win the series, I thought that would be the area where Indiana would be able to get some momentum, which makes that loss in game one so much more imperative because you could have been heading home with everything on the line.
Split.
You say what?
They could be going home right now with a split.
Exactly. Like, you got to take care of games like that, which is why that's so imperative. So that them losing that game plus having that injury for Halliburton, it definitely hurts them. As far as on the Celtics end, this is just a tune-up. I mean, they've been cruising throughout this whole Eastern Conference side of things this entire time. I mean, Miami, no Jimmy Butler. Cleveland, no Jared Allen, no Donovan Mitchell in the game as well. I mean, this series, now you're finna end up with no Halliburton potentially for the rest of this playoff run, and you're going to go up against a formidable foe in the last round of the playoffs. So it's like, you might as well get your bearings, get all your kinks out and everything like that, handle business, and see what you can do. Because at this point, it's like, it's win or bust. For them, it's win or bust.
And as I was saying, it's been a lot of busting for them. Pause. But it's been a lot of busting. Like, it's been multiple. It's been multiple times them in this season where it's been a lot of disappointing. Like, they leave a lot to be desired. Like Charles said last episode, it's very disappointing being a fan of. You don't gotta be a fan of Boston, but you can be a fan of the game. And you can just tell it's like there's no way a team of that caliber underperforms to levels of this magnitude. Like, the spotlight is glorified on them. They're the last two teams remaining in their conference. So the fact that the whole world is watching what we've been trying to well, I'm not even gonna say we, because I'm not going to. Charles ain't gonna get no credit. He's been the biggest. He's been a Tatum supporter. He's been down for the Tatum cause, and you're gonna go down with him too, because this, like, two second team all defensive players, and I don't even want to get into the other part because we're gonna talk about that later. But there is no reason, like, they've been the most unbattled tested team throughout this whole playoff, going through depleted team after team after team. And I'm seeing on sports shows and talk shows and radios all around the world saying, oh, they can only play what's in front of them. I don't think it would be a failure season if they don't win an NBA championship. Why are we being soft? Why aren't we holding these guys to the standard that we hold all these all-time greats and superstars of the league today to? I feel like Boston gets off a little too easy, and especially Jason Tatum too, as not holding them to the standard of, you have this great team around you. You have great teams around in the past and haven't been able to get it done. I mean, shoot, they only went to the finals one time in these past 7 years since they had Tatum, and no season is deemed a disappointment. Like, how many more pieces do these teams that Boston need to, like, grab in order for them to actually be okay, championship or bust? Like, why is going to the championship just enough for Boston? I don't believe so at all. It's a shame that the back in the day, the all-time players had to go through all types of scrutiny and negativity because they couldn't get the job done, and the ball, and Jason Tatum and the Celtics continues to get pass after pass for being mediocre. I can't even say average. That's me. I mean, it's pretty much average, because a team of that nature should be back-to-back NBA champions. So I have no idea what we're going to be expecting out of Boston in the NBA Finals. I think, like I said previous episode, whoever comes out the West, if they're not too bruised up and nicked up, I feel like they're going to be the prohibited favorites by far. And no matter what team comes out of that round in the West, I feel like Minnesota and Dallas have the superior number one player on the court, which is either going to be Anthony Edwards or Luka Doncic. You know, we can argue about that. Charles, I know you're big with Tatum, so I know you probably thinking Tatum better than Ant, but whoever comes out of the West is going to have a cakewalk. I'm not necessarily a cakewalk. I believe it'll be a good series, but ultimately I believe that whoever comes out the West will win the championship within 6 games. Within 6.
I got no choice but to, at least at this moment in time, agree with that, because there is nothing that I have confidence in Boston of other than getting out of the East. Like, if they were to play Minnesota, I pick Minnesota. If they were to play Dallas, I pick Dallas. If they were to play OKC, I could see that going realistically 7. If they were to play
Nah.
I mean, but it's the reason why I say that is because, like, we seen Boston play with their food. We seen them play to the level of their competition. And it's not like OKC is filled with a bunch of scrubs. So it's like, if they got a chance to, take advantage of that, then who knows? I just don't have no faith in Boston from the standpoint of being – it's kind of crazy saying that because of the fact that they are in the Eastern Conference Finals, a few games away from the title opportunity. But it's hard to look at them as, like, the upper echelon of traditional title contenders.
And no argument with me there. I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. I mean, I've been trying to tell you. I'm glad you kind of seeing it for yourself. I mean, it's only going to be a matter of time before you're fully on the bandwagon of T-Cal. The criticism that I gave Tatum is fair, and he deserves it. But, enough about the East. Now it's time to get into the better matchup, in my personal opinion, in the Wolves versus the Mavs, man. I think that series right there, I said it's going 6. It might go 6, but truthfully, after seeing that first game, I believe it might go 5 in Dallas favor. I believe that, hey, I don't know why you're making that face. I mean, shoot. What did you see on the screen on whatever day they play? Wednesday night. I seen a guy in Luka Doncic pace himself throughout that game. 17 points. He had 17 points. No, 18 points throughout the first 3 quarters of that game. 7 of 18 shooting, 1 of 7 from 3, and 3 of 3 from the free throw line. In that fourth quarter, he took over the entire game. 5 for 8 from the field, 2 for 3 from the 3-point line, 3 or 4 from free throw. But also, I mean, nobody can guard those 2 guards in Dallas. McDaniels can't check him. Ant-Man can't check him. I mean, sure, I don't know who else you want to throw out. I mean, Mike Conley, you think Mike Conley guarding either one of them cats? Heavens no. He don't got a chance in hell guarding neither one of them. And I think Anthony Edwards, I mean, a lot of people have been kind of bashing him lately because he called out that Kyrie matchup saying, like, that's going to be my matchup. I don't think there's nothing wrong with him stepping up to the challenge and being confident and saying, like, that's my matchup and check ball. Let's play. I feel like obviously the softer side is like, oh, be careful what you wish for. Now you getting a mad Kyrie. Now Kyrie gonna show you why he's unguardable. It doesn't matter if he's unguardable or not. At the end of the day, you have to go out there, check up, and face the task of guarding the best one-on-one ISO player in the world by far. And I mean, to Ant's credit, I mean, he's carrying a big workload on his back, having to play offense or carry the offense and also play defense on the second best player on their team. So I think Minnesota might be in trouble if they can't find a way to relieve some of that defensive pressure off Anthony Edwards and allow him to sometimes get him a break playing other wing defenders as in a PJ Washington or as in a Derrick Jones Jr. or certain guys that aren't the 2 superstars that's controlling the pace and tempo of the whole game. I mean, Kyrie Irving, he came out in the first half and set the tone, scoring 24 points on 11 of 14 shooting. And I mean, as we seen, the shot making and the one-on-one ability of Kyrie Irving is next to none. I mean, I haven't seen a game that good in a long time, being honest, because that was a beautiful night of hoops from start to finish. I mean, a lot of people can, sit there and criticize and be like, oh, like the putback dunk that Cat had wasn't basket interference. Me personally, I think it was a little bit over the rim, so I think they made the right call. But It's been a very good series as of now of great hoops, one-on-one matchups. I mean, I come to say that Luka Doncic is a top. If he wins this championship, I believe he's the top 2 player in the world. I think he surpasses Giannis. I mean, we can argue about that, give or take. That might be a hot take, might not be. But Luka's making the efforts on defense to stop certain guys at times, not all the time, because he has a large offensive workload on his back as well. But Luka comes through and make, like when he broke up that timely lob to Gobert in the fourth quarter in crunch time. When they were down 4 and all the momentum seemed like it was going Minnesota way, Luka comes down with a step back 3. Mind you, he was wide open. Came down, step back 3 on Ant. Took the cut the lead down to 1. And then also with Cat, 6 for 20, 16 points, 2 of 9 from 3. I don't know what to say personally. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, I've said it time after time, he's not your number. I mean, he's not a good wingman. I mean, he showed in Denver that, he has spurts of where he can be that, but he's not consistent at all of being that Robin. He's 6'11", shooting 9 threes a game. I mean, not 9 3 a game. He shot 9 threes, and his matchup was 6'6" PJ Washington. Yeah, I know PJ, he's scrappy. I know PJ will get down in the fence. But there's no way on God Green Earth you're 7 foot and you're big but not in the paint with a smaller front court foe in PJ Washington. It makes no sense. Charles, give me some type of explanation on how that makes sense that Cat shoots 9 threes on PJ Washington. Even though PJ might be the stronger player. How that's not good hoops, but
I don't really got an explanation for that. We all know that's Cat's game. He's been like that for a while. So I don't necessarily see you. I don't understand how you're surprised. However, I do want to commend you for coming to my side, because a couple episodes ago, I spoke on when people was talking about what kind of legacies, who would end up getting the biggest impact, and my answer was Luka. And here you are looking at what kind of generational run he could potentially have in these playoffs, and you call him a top 2 player in the world if he were to get that trophy. So I just want to commend you on that. Also, you're contradicting yourself, my boy. This series has been great. This series has been electrifying, and it was a great night of hoops in game 1 of all games. And you think that it has a potential of being a gentleman's sweep?
Yep.
No.
I mean, the only reason why I say that is because I see that Kyrie, like, if you sit back and just watch Kyrie Irving play the game of basketball, you can just tell that the maturity of him, knowing when to assert himself, knowing if I'm not scoring, I'm going to play some defense. If I'm not scoring, I'm going to be live off the ball. I'm going to make sure I'm going to be the quarterback on the field. I mean, on the court, directing, making sure everybody's head is even keel, making sure everybody's in their spots and embellishing them with confidence. I mean, Kyrie Irving in the fourth quarter, he made that one extra pass to PJ Washington for that corner 3. PJ Washington was struggling that whole entire game. And a normal superstar, as we know, would not make that extra pass to somebody who is struggling in key moments of the game to, basically put the game away. But he made that one extra pass when Kyrie could have created a shot for himself, and PJ Washington rewarded him with a 3-point basket. And I'm just saying, like, you can tell the moment might be a little bit too big for Minnesota. And, like, Rudy Gobert, I'm sorry, you can't play him. You cannot play Rudy Gobert if you continue to play drop coverage. Luka Doncic kills drop coverage. Every time he drops, Luka's either getting a tear drop, he's getting to his pattern, step back and shooting with no elevation over the whoever the defender is. McDaniels can't guard him. Anthony Edwards can't check him. Or he getting a lob over the top and with livelier Gafford. Like, I think their best bet if they want to push this series any further, because I believe now it has the potential going 5. their best bet is to trap Luka and Kyrie off the initial ball screen, get the ball out of their hand, and make the others beat you. I think you can't play 48 minutes of basketball letting Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic control the tempo and the output of the game like that. You have to get the ball out their hands because they're too electrifying with the ball, too dangerous, and quite frankly, I mean, Derrick Jones Jr. had an off night that night. I mean, not to say that we're really expecting too much out of Derrick Jones outside of scoring. I mean, outside of defending, anything extra would be great. But if I'm Minnesota, I'm living with those 3-pointers that PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. shooting. Because at the end of the day, if Kyrie Irving isn't getting going, if Luka Doncic isn't getting going, we have a chance. But if those two guys are getting going, y'all have no chance in hell. As Luka showed last night, scoring 15 points in the fourth quarter and it's coming up clutch. I mean, they were clutch buckets. They weren't, I stat padded, got all my buckets early, and then when it was crunch time, then I folded up. He's getting tough. Like, when I tell you tough buckets, like, these are elite moves that he's making. And it's not nothing flashy. He's getting to his spots. He's taking his time. He's making the right plays. Like, Minnesota shooting 49 3-pointers is a humongous problem. That's not their game. They can shoot them. Yes, they can shoot them. But shooting 49 3-pointers against Dallas, you play right into their hands. Jason Kidd packed that paint in order for their game plan to work as, the way that it did. Anthony Edwards is way more effective when he's aggressive, going downhill to the basket, getting to his mid-range, getting 2 feet in the paint and being able to make, smart decisions. He went 5 for 12 from 3, which isn't bad, but 12 3-pointers for Anthony Edwards, that's a win for Dallas. Because if he isn't attacking the basket and putting constant pressure on your defense, you're essentially winning, because I would live with an Anthony Edwards 3-pointer over Anthony Edwards getting going with a erratic junk or some crazy acrobatic play that's really getting him going into the game. I can live off of him shooting 3-pointers. Anthony Edwards shooting a 3-pointer is not going to beat me overall. Now, him getting to that paint and getting my big man in foul trouble and putting pressure on my wings to actually defend, now that's what's really going to end up hurting Dallas. So if Dallas can continue to be effective and keeping Anthony Edwards out of the paint, and I mean, obviously Cat is allergic to paint. I mean, shoot, he 9 3-pointers against a 6'6" PJ Washington, by the way. That's your guy, Charles. Cat, that's your guy. But
who said that was my guy?
Now he lying again. He's not a Cat fan.
Oh my
God. Always, if it ain't one thing, it's another with Versi.
Oh my God. I'm not even finna entertain that. I'm not even entertaining that. But I will say, I told y'all last episode, my heart was leaning Dallas but my head was leaning Timberwolves. And I'm not going to shy away from that. I'm sticking to my guns. It's only game 1. We got to see what happens tonight in game 2. However, what is the most concerning thing about that game 1? You can speak all you want about Luka and Kyrie basically going bananas, taking turns. Kyrie in the first half, Luka pretty much in the fourth quarter. You can speak about how the game plan for Dallas worked in favor of them by letting them shoot that many 3-pointers, or let Cat shoot damn near double figures from deep, like double-digit attempts. You could say all you want about that, but the most eye-opening thing that I found out about that game that I noticed, Dallas primarily is an offensively gifted team, and they have a lot of firepower from their 2 nuclear weapons. But even their role players can sometimes get hot. We've seen PJ Washington have nights like that. We've seen Derrick Jones Jr. have nights like that. We've seen guys like Kleber, if he was in this series healthy. We've seen that happen out of him.
And he's ramping up right now too. I seen a clip of him today on the court, so he might be back.
I wouldn't rush it if they are able to steal another game here, but who knows? But the scary thing about what happened in game 1, do you expect Dallas to shoot as poorly as they did from 3 again?
No, not at all. No.
And that's the spooky part about it. They basically had one of their worst games of the season from deep, and they squeaked out a victory against the number one defense in the league. Like that is insane.
Charles 6 for 25. Dallas went for 24%.
And you think that they gonna end up going? You think they're going to only hit 6 3-point? I mean, Kyrie and Luka might have 6 between themselves alone next game.
No,
You
Luka might have 6 between himself alone.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like you're not going to get that low of a percentage, or at least that low of made 3-point attempts from Dallas again. That's not going to happen. As far as what the Timberwolves are doing, Anthony Edwards cannot have an off night. And it sucks because he has so much on his shoulders, being a primary on-ball defender, someone that at times can press up in the full court, and having the biggest load offensively for the Timberwolves. Like, he has to carry that burden. It sucks for him. So he's going to have his work cut out for him. But at the same time, for them to get to these new heights that they've never seen as a franchise, he's going to have to elevate his game, because you can't trust Cat in order to get y'all to the next round. Like, he's an ancillary piece. He is someone that's going to be a 2, and even then that's kind of iffy because he's not the most consistent guy in the world. He'll show up and have a big game that may save your bacon, and then he might have a game like this. And it's not like he had a terrible game, and he finished with over 20 points, but at the same time, it's like, I'm talking about Cat.
No, he didn't.
He didn't have over 20 points.
Cat had 16. He shot 20 shots.
Oh, well, even then, it's like, I think he was still like not even close. I think he was like the second or third leading scorer for the team. That's normal for him, but you gotta have more.
McDaniels went off.
Nah, you need Ant to go off because he had a poor shooting standard by it. He had a poor shooting game by his standards. I mean, like, you're shooting 75% of your shots from beyond the arc. Like, you're shooting 12 threes. That's not you. And it's not to say that you can't develop that, but as of right now, you are a slasher who has a streaky J when given a chance. Like, you have to take advantage of your strengths. Also, another thing that I noticed from this series so far, at least from game 1, the energy that you get from Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford is insane. I looked at this series as far as the front court, the big men. You got 3 against 2. You got Nasri, Cat, Gobert versus Gafford and Lively. And after this game, it looked like that might be a wash. It looked like that might be neutralized, especially because my biggest concern was them being in foul trouble. And albeit this may be an overreaction, but if they could stay out of foul trouble, if they could stay from committing fouls, who knows? They might end up altering the game in the same way that Luka and Kyrie can, but not off of scoring points, but just off of crashing the glass, put back points, and just giving the team more second chance opportunities. It is going to be a dogfight inside that painted area because those guys are as energetic as hell. So,
and they're very impactful. Lively just back-to-back blocks, rim protection, rebound, playing the right way. I mean, don't mean to cut you off, but Lively he played a tremendous game. To say that, and whatever Dallas is doing with their rotation, getting them half and half, continue that, because both of those guys are coming in there infusing energy, playing with passion, rebounding the ball very, very effectively. Those look like the Twin Towers, not Minnesota's, and Minnesota has 3. So the fact that they went out there and outperformed them, that just goes to show you we really underestimated. Well, not me, but a lot of people underestimated the midseason acquisitions of Gafford and PJ Washington, because those guys came in and fit just like a glove and been wonders for Luka and the Mavs. I would be so happy if Dallas made it to the final, just because I'm knowing they deserve it. Like, if they end up winning the finals, I'm like, okay, like, Luka went through, like, what we got to kind of look at it in perspective. Like, if they were to go to the finals, the Mavericks went through, injury depleted Clippers, No Kyrie, no Kawhi. Then you go through OKC, the number 1 seed in the West. I mean, give or take. I mean, we know that was kind of fraudulent in a way. I'm not fraudulent. Let me not say that because they earned what they earned their seeding, but it was a 3-team tie for first at the end of the season. So we could have gave or take who got that 1 seed. With Shea, hooping his ass off, doing what he did, earned a lot of respect from me. And then going third round against the best defensive team in the NBA, in the Minnesota Timberwolves, and then going up against the best overall record team, the most complete team from top to bottom in the whole entire NBA with the Boston Celtics in the NBA championship. That's a great. If Luka wins this, hey,
conversation's gonna have to be had.
And conversation you don't like him being better than Tatum.
I already looked at Luka is better than Tatum. So that's not no issue with me. I look at Luka as a top 3 player as far as like his overall game and skill set. But I don't want to jump the gun as far as what the Mavericks are capable of doing because it's about what they are going to do. We need to see that. We need to see more. We got to see if they can handle whatever Minnesota has up their sleeve because they're going to make adjustments. Chris Finch is going to make sure that defense is ready, locked and loaded for at least some sort of game plan against Kyrie and Luka that's at least a little bit better you would expect. And that they're going to try to get some more looks for Ant to kind of help him adjust offensively to make some type of better impact overall for the team.
All right, man. On to the next topic, man. So y'all already know the All-NBA team list has came out. And my biggest question for y'all is, who's the biggest snub of the All-NBA team?
I mean, without further ado, simple cut to the point, Jaylen Brown. There's no way on God Green where Jaylen Brown does not make an All-NBA team averaging 23 points a game on 50% field goal percentage as the number 2 option on the number 1 seed in the entire East. Now, I'm sorry if I'm insensitive to Tyrese Halliburton's spectacular first half of the season, but the second half of the season was absolute awful. He was absolutely atrocious, and there's no way on God Green Earth that Tyrese Halliburton was still on a 3rd-team All-NBA after the lackluster second half of his season. There's no way. No way on earth. And to say now that it's positionless now, that if you wanted to put 5 guards on one team, you could put 5 guards. So it's no way that Tyrese Halliburton makes a 3rd team over Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen Brown tried to brush it off saying we're 2 games away from the finals. Who gives a fuck? Obviously, that comes with that can affect his pockets. I mean, not him because he already signed to a $300 million deal. So all the NBA teams really wouldn't matter. Money coming through regardless. But as players in your Hall of Fame resume, it does affect. Okay, like how many All NBAs did he earn? How many All Stars did he earn? I mean, this is another year of him being snubbed, and I'm not the guy to stick up for Jaylen Brown because I feel like at times he forgets he's a basketball player. Sometimes he forgets if my strong shoot isn't going left, I'm not going to go left. He still goes left and loses the ball with a lot of I can go on hours and hours about how much Jaylen Brown I like him and I don't like him, but Jaylen Brown I feel like is the biggest snub out of that list. And obviously, if I had a choice to take off anybody, it would be Tyrese Halliburton. But also, I have another issue. It is no way. How is LeBron James on 3rd team All NBA and Kawhi is on 2nd team? That doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Like, I know Kawhi, they had the 4th seed, whoop-de-doo. Like, are we giving kudos for them getting the 4th seed? Like, LeBron James has played a better season start to finish than Kawhi Leonard. He literally averaged 26.7 rebounds, 8 assists on 54% shoot at 39 years old. Give it some perspective. Playing 71 games, averaging 35 minutes. LeBron James is nothing less than remarkable than the fact that he didn't earn the All-NBA at least 2nd team. 1st team is a reach. those guys are, those guys deserve it. For the exception, I can make an argument with what's Charles boy with Tatum. Because Tatum made another first team All NBA, but Kawhi Leonard, man, 23.7 points a game, 6 rebounds on 52% shoot. Now, no disrespect to Kawhi Leonard. Am I saying he shouldn't deserve an All NBA team? No, I'm not saying that. But second team over LeBron James, and LeBron James' numbers were overall like better in any. You can go efficiency, you can go clutch points, you can go whatever. LeBron James had a better season than Kawhi Leonard. So the fact that he didn't make second team and Kawhi did is what are we doing as voters? Like, what's the critique?
I feel that. That's definitely a concern for me. I don't know how Kawhi got in second and LeBron got third. Also, it should be Jaylen Brown on there. I ended up having him, I guess, second as my biggest snub. For me personally, I had Zion. And it's because of the fact that I looked at Zion as him and his impact on the season, on the Pelicans. I just honestly think that this man had to basically remind the world of who he is. Like, obviously, you look at the Pelicans as a whole. We've seen them over the past few seasons. Whenever they're healthy, they are a team that has the capabilities of having a high seed in the playoffs. And they've been a consistent playoff appearance team over the past few seasons more times than not. But obviously, they are never fully loaded because of what Zion is incapable of doing for the most part, which is being healthy. His biggest question mark is health. Well, this time he's been as healthy as he's ever been in his career, to the point where he actually qualified for an All-NBA team. I mean, this man was out here putting up these numbers that people just sort of forgot about. They forgot about the type of impact he has on that Pelicans team. Now, granted, it's not going to showcase from the standpoint of how loaded the Western Conference has been this season in a historic fashion. I mean, you got teams that's getting almost 50 wins that can't even sniff higher than a play-in seed. But at the same time, you look at what he's capable of doing, you can tell how dangerous that Pelicans team is capable of being. And you got a full display of what that looked like when they basically almost knocked off the Lakers, and because of his 40-10 night. And he's been doing that on a more than consistent basis over the season. I'm not mad at you saying Jaylen Brown because I feel like he deserved it as well. I just, for the sake of being different, I would look at Zion Williamson, and I'll see that he would get that over Tyrese Halliburton. Also, you ended up looking at my list that we made a few episodes ago, and you looked at me like I was crazy when I said Sabonis. You looked at me like I was an idiot. And what can I say? Maybe I'm just a fortune teller. Maybe I could just see the future. Maybe I just know. Maybe I'm just the Hoopstradamus for real. Maybe I'm him because I just know ball.
Bro, I'm not mad at Sabonis making it, bro. But like, if you're, we got to be honest, bro. He was a top 10 MVP candidate. Like, that alone was insane in itself. But hey, the voters think Sabonis is a top 15 player in the league. So hey, I have nothing to say about that. You were right. I had him originally on my team, like when he was playing good when they was the 4th seed. But once they started sliding, I took away from it. So I guess the voters don't look at it. They put in their votes all the way back in mid-March when they playing like all NBA guys, because there's no way Tyrese and Sabonis makes it. If anything, shoot, Tyrese actually has a better case on being on that all NBA team than Tyrese Halliburton, if we want to really get into that type of conversation. But
that's fair.
I ain't gonna lie, yeah, I ain't got no argument with that. My biggest snub, I'm gonna go ahead and say Paulo Banchero, bro. I mean, what? How is he not third team? I ain't gonna lie, I would have put Paulo over Tyrese, or I can leave Sabonis there. I ain't gonna lie, I put Paulo over Tyrese, man, because
Paulo
I mean,
could have been a couple guy, Mari, too. Don't just say it's just them two. Like, Paulo played like one of the ones this year.
No, for real. Like, he was hooping this year, bro. Like, he was hooping last year, but this year he really did his thing, bro. Like youngest player in the league, youngest player in the league history, like youngest player in league history, bro, to lead his team in 22.6 points, rebounding 6.9, assists 5.4 in a single season. You know what I'm saying, bro? And he led the Magic to the playoffs, bro. Like it's crazy, bro. Like I really feel like Paulo should have been at least third team. He should have been on that third team, bro. Like I really feel like he should have been on there.
Yeah, Paulo, he's gonna be if he learns to get the big butt down there, grab them rebounds, be more effective in that and other aspects of the game as well. I mean, obviously, he already is given the playmaking ability to go and essentially run the Magic team because him, Franz Wagner, freaking Suggs, Wendell Carter, and Jonathan Isaac. He's the only one with any type of playmaking ability in that lineup. So it's safe to say that his assists, I believe his usage rate is going to go up more and more in future reference. The points should go up, and I hope the rebounds do because I think Paulo he could really be one of the ones. And that's a great name that I wasn't thinking about. And I'm glad you said it because he most definitely deserved to be on on an all NBA team. I mean, he was a freaking all-star. Like, what are we doing?
You ain't got no argument with me.
You said what did you about to say?
Nah, I said you ain't got no argument out of me.
Not for real. But next question, man. So PG, man, he's about to be a free agent. His contract is up with the Clippers. So, which team do you see Paul George potentially playing for next season?
This might shock you a little bit, but I'm saying PG, he has a realistic chance and it will be a good fit on the New York Knicks. I would like him being a secondary scoring option to Jalen Brunson. And also not having that type of pressure of like being he will be essentially the number 2 option, but Jalen Brunson is so much of, you have to get off of Julius Randle. Let's start out by that. You have to trade Julius Randle and get some type of assets. Julius Randle can't be on this team next year. Y'all played too good. Y'all earned the number 2 seed without Julius Randle in the lineup for majority of the year. I think, his all-stars, are good. When he's playing good, he's playing good. But there's a lot of time where Julius Randle is ruining the chemistry of the team, ruining any type of ball movement, any type of fluidity within the offense because he's mid-elbow shooting mid-range jump shots instead of going to the basket, being aggressive and making plays for others. I feel like he slows the game down, and Jalen Brunson and him can't coexist together anymore. Jalen Brunson has shown that he can be a number 1 option, lead the team, and also he needs the ball in his hands. He can't play with the post. Not necessarily a post, but he's not a dominant post where you defer to him more times than not, like they did in the past before the injury. So I think Paul George as a wingman and shit to some of them guys. I don't think, realistically being honest, I don't think they bring back OG Anunoby. Like I know that they want to bring back OG Anunoby, but like reports have came out, OG Anunoby is not giving the New York Knicks any promises. He said he's going to go out there and test free agency and see what the market desires. What the offer throws at him. The market throws at him, and quite frankly, he's going to be receiving a lot of money from a lot of different teams because he is a very valuable player on that team. So I think Paul George will be a great second option to Jalen Brunson on the New York Knicks. And I think that team will be a real deal contender, depending on what PG you get. But, as long as Jalen Brunson playing the way that he playing, I think less and less pressure will be on Paul George because of the superstar and the attention that Jalen Brunson brings to that team.
That's not a bad option. That definitely seems like it would be a very good complementary piece to Brunson. This is kind of going with what everybody else is thinking, but I guess the obvious answer, at least for me, would be the Sixers. You look at the way that this team is constructed, and They got pieces. Obviously, you got MVP caliber player Joel Embiid. You got a nice young number two in Tyrese Maxey. And the way I kind of look at it, if you're getting Paul George, you're getting him in a position where he is not in his prime anymore. He's still a very capable player who, at best, can bring you an All-Star appearance. But at the same time, you know what he's capable of doing in the playoffs. Where if there's a lot of pressure placed on his shoulders, he is not going to get the job done. And it's no disrespect to Paul George in terms of who he is as a player, but it is what it is at this point. If you're Philadelphia, you have so many players that are on these minimum contracts or these low-level deals that you just can't necessarily trust. I mean, how much do you really expect to get out of guys like Kelly Oubre? I mean, you've seen what Buddy Hield at his position was able to do in the playoffs, which was not really much up until the last game. And even then, we've seen what he did towards the end of it, which is going to leave a bad taste in the mouth of Daryl Morey and the Sixers. I mean, you look at guys like Kyle Lowry. I mean, like, you might just have to do what you will with him. I mean, you add a guy like Paul George, you add with the max contract slot, you got yourself a opportunity to make some noise in the East, which you already did prior to the Joel Embiid injury. So it's not like having him on that roster makes them any worse. As far as them being able to contend with the top dogs, a healthy Milwaukee, assumed to be returned to form New York Knicks and a Eastern Conference champion in the Celtics, that's a formidable squad with that big three. And I know that it's kind of wild to look at the big three and seeing it be successful when we're looking at over the past few years, the big three era is kind of dying out. But with the 76ers, I feel like if it's not too many years you're going to get out of Joel Embiid with his health scares and everything like that. If you trust in the process a little bit longer, you might as well go swinging for the fences. So you might as well get you another guy. You tried it with Jimmy Butler. It was promising until the greatest game 7 in NBA history, not outside of the NBA finals with the Warriors and the Cavs with that Kawhi Leonard bounce on that shot. You tried it with Ben Simmons. He don't want to dunk on Trae Young for some reason. You got to chip him. You know what I'm saying? You try it with Tyrese Maxey and you see some promise over the past few seasons. So you might as well add a little bit more fuel to the fire by putting PG on that roster.
Hey, Charles, a question for you. If you're Daryl Morey and the GM, how many more years are you giving Joel Embiid before you eventually trade him or get off of him? Because I feel like Embiid, he more damaged goods if anything. So I just want to hear from your perspective. How, if you were the GM of the 76ers, how many years are you giving Embiid if he doesn't deliver a championship?
See, that's the thing. Damaged goods, you could definitely look at that, but at the same time, he's the biggest asset that damaged goods can buy in this NBA. I mean, how many damaged goods do you see that's a walking leading scorer in the league or a walking MVP candidate? I mean, granted, you look at the health scares over his entire career, which is horrible and scary as hell. But at the same time, if you get rid of him, where do you go as a 76ers unit? You reload in the draft and hope that you find a steal from there and develop them for a number of years while you got guys like Tyrese Maxey that you're going to eventually ship out because he's going to probably want to be on a contending team? Or do you hope that Tyrese Maxey becomes this number one option to where he takes you to new heights that Embiid hasn't taken you? I mean, it's scary. And even from the owner's perspective, from a business standpoint, Embiid is going to fill in those seats. If you're an owner of that team, you're going to want those fans to walk into a show-stopping performer. And it ain't too many of those guys in the league. You have one of them already on your squad. It may be wise to move on from him, but that's definitely a scary outlook for the future, especially for a team that is looking for a title.
Okay.
I agree with you on that. It's crazy because I potentially saw, well, I went with what everybody else was saying, but I seen PG going to the 76ers as well. Felt like that'd be a good fit for him. My second option, y'all probably gonna try to cook me with this. I can see him playing like going to the Magic just to see, just because Paulo wouldn't have to carry all that weight on his back, so he can have like an extra scorer with him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like PG he'll be able to assist Paulo, with scoring and everything like that because you know what I'm saying. The Magic they weren't a 3-point shooting team this year, so I feel like PG. And I'm not saying he like the best 3-point shooter, but he can give you like he can give you a little something. He can give you a little something. But PG is a bucket,
I
and I
think that
feel
was a
like
good take too. That's a great analysis from you saying that the Magic, because that was another sleeper team that I was going to reference. I think the Magic they are missing shooting. Uh, I mean, so if Suggs and Markel Fultz and Carl Anthony are your shooters, I mean, you're going to be home in the first round annually when it comes down to the end of March, beginning of the end of April, the beginning of May. You're going to be home. That's not they don't have enough shooting around them, and if the Magic do what they need to do in order to maximize off of Paolo Banchero rookie contract before you have to give him the max, I'll go all out getting shooters surrounding him and letting him play from there. Let him be your kind of point forward in a way. Not necessarily all the time have a traditional point guard there, but I mean, I've been seeing the reports of them being interested in D'Angelo Russell, which I think wouldn't be a bad fit for that team. I think he'd be able to come in and play some secondary playmaking, give you some well needed shooting. I mean, he's not the most consistent 3-point shooter as we've seen in LA, but I mean, hey, that's better than what you have. You have a lot of non-shooter with Franz Wagner as well being your number 2 option. I mean, you can't go too far without shooting in today's society. No team has won the championship being lackluster from 3. Period. And so I believe that Magic take was a great take. That was my number 2 team.
I can see him potentially going to the Magic. What was the other team I see him going to? Um, I can see him potentially going to the Kings as well. That's probably like but I can see him going to the Kings as well, bro. Because again, like you got D Fox, you got some bonus, you got Monk. You know what I'm saying? I feel like PG would add on to that scoring. You know what I'm saying? He could be like, of course, like a lead, not necessarily a leader, but like a mentor. You know what I'm saying, for everyone else, anything like that. But I feel like he could also bring that spark. Bring like a little spark to that team as well when it comes to scoring. So to replace like Harrison Barnes, he's a good player, but like he's not consistent enough. You know what I mean? So it's like
Mhm.
I feel like PG will be a good fit for them too. But realistically, I see him going. I really see him going to the Sixers or the Magic. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like that Kings fit. I don't know if it's realistic or not, but on paper, that's a hell of an offensive punch.
Nah, really. Wait, all three? Yeah, all three of us don't win already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So moving on to the next topic, man. We going NFL with it. We talking receivers. So let me hear y'all top 15 wide receivers in the NFL right now.
Would y'all
So
prefer? Hey, hold on, Charles. You want to go first, or Hyatt? Because I want to know. Do y'all want me to go from 1 to 15 or 15 to 1?
I mean, I was thinking like maybe we could compare like 5 at a time because like that's a lot of names just in like at rapid fire. You know what I mean?
All right, for sure, for sure. All right, so uh, I'll start from the bottom, and we'll work our way up top. So my honorable mention receiver is Debo Samuel. Okay,
Mine.
so
Oh,
go
wait,
ahead, go
hold
ahead,
on.
go ahead. Go ahead. You have
So
honorable mention?
you say so. Debo is 15.
No,
So
No, he was
Debo would be 16. He didn't make my list.
oh, okay. Nah, I ain't.
All right, so 15, I have Cooper Kupp. 14, I have Garrett Wilson. 13, I have DJ Moore. 12, I have Nico Collins. And 11, I have Keenan Allen.
There's some similarities between mine. I got a couple differences though. My honorable mention is Tank Dell. I mean, if he was going to be on pace to have a better season than Nico, but I just want to give those that had better production the benefit of the doubt. So 15, I got DJ Moore. 14, I got Devontae Smith. 13, I got Keenan Allen. 12, I got Mike Evans. And 11, I got Nico.
I was thinking about adding Mike to my list, but I was like, he would be more of an honorable mention for me. I love Mike Evans. That nigga is nice.
You taking Gary? You taking Mike Evans over Gary Wilson?
No. I said.
Oh God, never mind. No, don't say nothing. Because I'm like, if you ain't say that, then that only mean one thing. Mari, what you got?
All right. For me, I'm gonna go honorable mention. Who did I just say?
I said Debo. He said Tank.
He said Tank. Oh, I said I don't even know. I'm gonna just go from 15, bro. So 15.
You don't got honorable mention?
Honorable mention. I'm gonna say
the one person that come up to mind.
Damn. Honorable mention. I'm gonna go Michael Pittman Jr., bro. I ain't gonna lie. He's nice. I like him. I'm gonna go Michael Pittman as honorable mention. Okay. I'm gonna go Keenan at 15. I'm gonna go DJ Moore 14. I'm gonna go Nico Collins. What was it? 13. Yeah, 13. I'm gonna go Stephon Diggs at we at 12 right now, right? I'm losing track of shit. That's what I said. That's
12.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him at 12.
God, the dishes.
I'm gonna put him at 12 for right now because just hear me out. Just hear me out. Because bro, it don't even matter. So Stephon 12. I got Debo at 11.
Oh God.
I got Cooper Cup.
Debo at 11.
I got Cooper Cup.
Huh?
And I got Puka Nicole.
We only did, yeah.
Oh cool. Man,
we only did. We only did 15 from 11.
The elephant in the room.
Huh?
We got to address the elephant in the room.
When did Debo Samuel become a top 15 receiver?
Above Stephon at that.
That's insane. Oh, he's more of a gadget guy. Should you?
I meant to like switch them.
Stand on business, Mars.
I really was supposed to switch them. Damn, I forgot. But
Stephon, my apologies, man. The disrespect.
I rock with Steph, but it's just like this year. I feel like he gonna be higher. He gonna get moved up higher. He for sure gonna get moved up higher.
Wait, so are you basing it off of like you projecting, or are you just looking at it from like this past season?
Yeah, I'm looking at it from this past season. Stephon, I mean, he did good this season, but I know, come on, we all know Stephon can do like way better. Like we all know, man, it wasn't his fault. It was Josh.
I mean, the offense changed on him right before his eyes. When Joe Brady came in at the OC shoot, they ran the hell out the football, and then when they ran it some more, and they utilized more of their tight ends in that offense, and Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox rather than Stephon did, because Stephon was kind of the highlight of that offensive attack. So teams were taking him away more and more. So they had to end up switching routes and running the football, and they thought that was more effective for him. But to say he's not top 10, I mean, geez, that's your list. That's your list. But hey, Stephon Diggs, that was hella disrespect.
No disrespect, Steph. We love you, bro.
Wait, T, you mentioned me. You mentioned Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Why you say that's? Why you said it, you wondered if I said I ain't mentioned him at all yet?
Yeah, because I don't know because knowing you probably finna say something insane in your top 10. So I'll just kick it off the top 10. My top 10 receivers in the NFL, we just gonna go 10 to 6. At number 10, I have Stephon Diggs. At number 9, I have Puka Nacua. At number 8, I have Brandon Ayuk. At number 7, I have CeeDee Lamb. And at number 6, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It's similar. It's similar. For number 10, I got Garrett Wilson. Just out of respect of him doing that with that level of quarterback play, I have to respect it. You can't get too much worse than Zach Wilson.
I mean, but shoot, why we don't do the same for Terry McLaurin if quarterback assessments is an excuse for Garrett Wilson, because Terry McLaurin, he's been the number one receiver on that team for 3 consecutive years, and
that is valid. I feel like with Scary Terry, I feel like he's had better quarterback play than New York, and I know it ain't like by much, it's marginal, but I just got that level of respect for Garrett because of the fact that he's been doing it with. I mean, you doing it with guys like Tim Boyle. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it with guys like Zach. Like, what are we doing here? Like, come on now. He played with Aaron Rodgers for like literally for 3 or 4 plays. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got to respect it with him. And Sam Howell, for what it's worth, is not a horrible quarterback. He might be a starting caliber quarterback on a bad team or a pretty damn good backup on any NFL team. So,
okay.
Number 9, I got Puka. Number 8, I got Stephon. 7, I got Ayuk. 6, I got Adams.
Devontae Adams at 6?
Yeah.
Oh, you done lost your mind. Oh my God.
You think you don't understand me speaking English? Am I speaking French to you?
Devontae Adams is 6?
Yeah. It's not. I have him at 6, and it's not a disservice to Adams.
I know who's above him. I know who's above him. That's why I'm like, what the huh?
But the way I look at it, it's more of a praise to the guys above him. It's not a disservice to Adams. It's more of a praise to him.
Mari, you go because oh God, I know what his top 5 consists of, and I'm oh Lord, I can't wait to tear the shreds. Go ahead, Mar.
All right, so at 10, I got Cooper Kupp. 9, I got AJ Brown. At 8, I got Puka. At
God
7,
like,
at 7,
AJ Brown that low shit. God.
Hold on. At 7, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown. 6, I got Brandon Ayuk. And then 5, I got we going to 5, right?
No, we just going to 6.
Okay.
I think overall, we all kind of got Amon-Ra around that 6-7 range.
This year?
Amon-Ra with my 6th receiver on my list. Mar, you got him 6, and Charles, where you got him? Amon-Ra 7.
Yeah.
And then we kind of seem like we all kind of been in agreement of where Puka is. Puka's 9 on my list. Charles, where is he on yours?
I got him at 9.
Mari.
Puka, he is. Damn, where are you? 8. He's 8 on my list.
So we kind of all.
Yeah. 8.
We kind of all in agreement that Puka Nacua is a top 10 receiver.
Actually, you know what? I think that's the only one that I missed, but he's definitely a top 15 receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would have to slide him in towards that middle range, so I had to just bump out DJ Moore.
Right, you didn't put Amon-Ra St. Brown in your top 15?
I missed it.
Oh my God!
Oh hell no!
I just said he's top 15. I just said he's top 15. I just missed him. I just need to add him. I just need to add him. He's
No.
in the top 15. I just missed his name. That's it. It ain't like I'm saying he's terrible. It ain't like I'm saying I just didn't add his name. He's a top 15 receiver. I just missed him. I bumped somebody off.
Yeah, it should be somebody in your top 5, and I can't wait to get into that. But at my number 5, I got AJ Brown. At my number 4, I have Devontae Adams. At my number 3, I have Justin Jefferson. At my number 2, I got Tyreek Hill. And at my number 1, I got Jamar Chase.
Wait, where's CD?
CD was 7 on my list.
You had Jettas where?
What?
3.
Oh man. Oh, bro, hold on, bro. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go pee, bro.
What's going on? Like we had like
damn, because Justin Jefferson. Oh man. I mean, I ain't gonna argue with you. I ain't got no argument with you putting like Jamar number 1 because
Charles had to go stretch or something. I mean, shoot,
it's like a toss up between Jamar and Justin for real. Like they both be like, "Oh, I'm 1 now, man. I'm 2."
Hey T, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna have to set up an appointment for you. You gotta go ahead and get checked, man.
What's crazy about that list?
That is insane.
What? But you're not giving me nothing. You're just saying it's an insane list without giving me anything.
Jettas missed how many games did he missed? What, 10 games this season with the injury? And he finished with double-digit touchdowns and over a band in receiving yards. Are you telling me that don't? Come on, man. Is this what we're really doing? When he's dealing with guys like we can say whatever we want about Kirk Cousins. That it is what it is. But who is the starting quarterback once he went down for the injury? And we looking at him making these spectacular plays. We ain't even talking about highlights. We could just talk about statistics, production. And you telling me he's not? Come on, man.
He's not really? What? He was top 3 on my list.
Nah, he gotta be. He better than those other 2 guys. I'm sorry.
I mean, but you're going off of straight statistical of what you see on the NFL page and what's exciting for y'all.
If I'm going off of what's exciting, then I'm taking Hill all day because he had the chance to win the Triple Crown. If I'm going off of excitement, I'm taking Chase because he's at times more marketable for his position. I'm going off of what I'm seeing from a variety of factors, the eye test. I'm going off of what I'm seeing from the stats. I'm going off of what his situation is around him. You look at what he has to deal with in Minnesota, that is not anywhere near what Tyreek has to deal with in Miami. That is not anywhere near with what Chase has to deal with in the Bengals. They don't have the capable quarterback that is to the level of Tua Tagovailoa or
what?
I'm saying no.
Hold on.
What I'm saying is, okay. Do you feel like Tua is better than Kirk Cousins?
No, he's not. Kirk Cousins is better than Tua. That's literally same range quarterback, and I would take Kirk every day.
Okay, same range quarterback, but you look at the weapons around him. You got him. You got Tyreek Hill. You surround him with Jalen Waddle. You surround him with Devon Achane. You surround him with all these different Raheem Mostert. You surround him with these different offensive weapons. What offensive weapons outside of what? Injury depleted T.J. Hawkinson or
you got Jordan Addison.
You got Jordan Addison. That's cool, but I'm pretty sure that's the only weapon that you're going to utilize for that team. I mean, what are we doing in Minnesota? It's just him versus the world, especially when Kirk went down.
We can say what you want about Justin Jefferson, but I've seen him get punked. I've seen him get punked by Jair Alexander in their matchups of him getting held to little to nothing.
Jair is one of them ones, though. If we being real,
if we want to be really real, we can read these really real stats. One reception on 5 targets for 15 yards, no tuds, no nothing. And that led helmet slams and a disgruntled Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
I mean,
That happens.
What?
It
No,
happens.
but I'm asking you. We see what's the most effective way to disrupt Justin Jefferson, and that's aggressive, physical cornerbacks. What can we sit here and decisively say that a physical cornerback can mess up Jamar Chase's game in any way, shape, or form? Because we seen him play the physical man-to-man Kansas City Chiefs, and what does he do to them every single time? Jamar Chase, I mean, he just so happy he has to be sharing the pod with two other good receivers, and he's with a really good quarterback. But if I'm looking at a receiver that looks the best to me, I mean, Jamar Chase is it. I mean, 6 foot, around 195 to 200-pound receiver that can take the top off of a defense, can play intermediate, can trick play maestro. I mean, no DB in the game can guard him. If I'm being quite frankly honest, I mean, Tyreek Hill, the only reason I have Tyreek Hill as my number 2 slot, because I mean, unfortunately, when it came down to Sneed putting the pause on him,
that's what I was going to say. Like, if you holding Justin Jefferson to that standard with Jair, then what do we have to hold to Tyreek Hill in terms of him going up against Sneed? And even if we take away that game, there have been moments when Tyreek Hill has not looked the way that we expected him to. This guy that we thought that he was going to get over 2 bands in receiving yards, the first receiver to ever do that, he ended up slowing down, and it wasn't like he was injured. It wasn't like he was just going up and having these record-setting performances and then leveling it off. No, he was having a drop-off. He was having moments where he ended up looking like he was falling off the earth. I ain't saying he played horribly, but for his standards, as a guy who we've seen in Kansas City and now Miami be this upper echelon room of receivers, he's had this level of inconsistency at times. Maybe not as many valleys as he has peaks, but there are valleys down in his ride.
But let's go into this, because I think the biggest argument or disagreement that we have is the Justin Jefferson versus Jamar Chase. And I want to ask y'all, so we just go down the list of things. Who is faster?
Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson.
All right, now you don't know.
I'd say
Who?
But Justin Jefferson.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably faster than Jamar Chase if I'm being 1K. Hold on. Before you say anything, before you say anything,
hold on, I gotta hear this. Let me hear this.
Before you say anything, you talking to somebody that went to a tryout at PV and ran a 4.3. Like, it was hand time, but come on, bro. You talking to a track? You talking to a guy that runs track?
We need that laser.
I mean, they didn't have a laser there, but hand time 4.3. Come on.
I could do a 4.3 in hand time.
Hell. But it's realistic for me, though. That's the thing. It's realistic.
It ain't realistic for me.
Charles, I ran the 200 and 400 in track. I ran 100.
I ran the 4x2 and I was the anchor.
I was too. I was third leg.
I was fourth. I'm the big.
You was.
We ran against each other.
You was. But I was third leg. We did run against each other. We did. Damn, I remember that. That was like sophomore year probably. I remember that. But
I can't. He just tried to.
But we talking speed. I think Justin Jefferson gets up to speed quicker than Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is more explosive than what? Than Justin Jefferson?
Jamar Chase is more explosive. He's faster. He's better against man-to-man press physical coverage.
I agree with that. But the speed part?
Yes.
I'm gonna search up. I'm gonna look at that 40, bro. That 40 shit don't matter, but like, let me see something, bro.
And who do you feel like is better with the ball in their hands? Like once
Jamar Chase.
I'm gonna be real, Jamar.
I say Jettis.
Oh, he ran a 4.3. He ran a 4.3. He ran a 4.38. Okay.
So can you throw Justin Jefferson bubbles and plays?
Chase? You're right.
I mean, every receiver has their own strengths and weaknesses.
No, but I'm saying
every receiver do.
But I'm saying though, more explosive. We giving that to Jamar Chase, right?
I wouldn't
Yeah. Oh
fight
yeah.
you. I wouldn't fight you on it.
Hey,
Who is the most dangerous with the ball in their hands? That means from any
I'm
aspect from the field. That means you can handle the ball off. You can throw them a bubble. You can throw them a deep post. You can throw them anything. Who is the most dangerous once the ball touches their hand?
Jamar.
I'd
Okay.
say for
I'm gonna say
schematic.
Jamar.
I'd say for schematic reasons. If we talking about like just scheme because of what they run and what their strengths are, I'd say Jamar. But in terms of just who has the ball in their hands and who has the chance to take it distance, I'll go Judas.
Hey, I mean Jamar. I mean what? My only issue with this is like what?
Justin Jefferson on a 4-4-3. I'm faster than Justin Jefferson.
That's what I'm
Jamar
saying.
is faster than him. Okay. I mean,
that's what I've been telling you. Like Jamar Chase.
It's to the point where Jamar be running and it don't even be looking like he just trying. Justin Jefferson, he be like scooting. He kind of got like a track like run in a way. So it's like he be looking like he's scooting, bro. But like Jamar, he'll like go by somebody. He'll just be like, yeah, he there.
I mean,
Justin look like he just I don't know. Like
I mean, it's like the 40 time and in-game speed with pads on is two completely different things.
Yeah, that is true. But damn, that's crazy. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna watch some Jamar Chase highlights after this. Even though I ain't seen him before, but I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna have to check that
I
out.
feel like we got another argument on our hands though, because I mean, like, you the only one that listed your top 5.
Go ahead, Charles.
So I already said I needed to add St. Brown in my list. So we good on that. He's a top 15 receiver. We good on that.
Yeah.
That nigga is top. You know what? I ain't gonna say that.
All right, so 5, I got the other Brown. I got AJ. 4, I gotta respect it. I gotta put Lamb. 3, I got Chase. 2, I got you. 1, I got JJ. What, am I a stand-up comedian or something?
Like, bro, what is
Wait, where'd you put Chase at?
I put Chase at 3.
Damn. And you said you had Jada at 1, then you had Tyreek at 2.
Yeah, I have to respect it.
I ain't gonna lie.
CeeDee Lamb at 4.
Yeah. I mean, is that like Is that like horrible or something?
It's fine.
Can you not argue that?
To me, it's not because of the season.
CeeDee Lamb not better than AJ Brown, bro.
If I'm going at what you call it, off the season he just had, I ain't gonna lie, CD was cooking, bro. I ain't gonna lie, he had a great season this year.
Both guys are productive for sure, but I mean, what gave me the edge for Brown, I look at it from the standpoint of like, okay, what are their situations? What are they capable of doing? And how much of a load do they have? Obviously, they're both number 1 receivers, so that's without a given. But like the pressure, for all it's worth, we take the quarterbacks out the equation. It's on more of CeeDee Lamb's shoulders to be the most productive version of himself for the Cowboys than it is for AJ Brown to be the most productive version of himself for the Eagles. And I don't think that there's much of an argument for that, because if you look at the season that they've had, you look at all these different pieces that Philly has had with their guys. I mean, they got Devontae Smith. They got a great O-line. And it's not to say Dallas doesn't have a great O-line, but I mean, you what are we doing? We're comparing Jake Ferguson to Devontae Smith. We're comparing Tony Pollard to Swift. We're comparing those. The only real battle that they have is you're picking me between quarterbacks. And at that point, it's just preference. I'm just looking at what kind of load that CeeDee Lamb has to carry for Dallas, and I feel like that is more of a taxing effort for him. And the fact that he was able to produce at a all-pro level, I gotta respect it.
Yeah, I don't want to be the person like I'm just like disrespecting CD, but CD isn't better than AJ Brown. Like just no. Like in no shape or form is he better than AJ Brown. I don't think he better than Devontae Adams. I don't think he's better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Because if anything, you could say Amon-Ra St. Brown had a better season. Like overall, start to finish. I'm not saying like regular season. We know CD was great, but overall from start to finish, Amon-Ra St. Brown was immaculate. And I feel like we're not giving him the proper man. Lord have mercy. I mean, Tyreek. I mean, not even Tyreek, but we all running with the Justin Jefferson narrative of like him. Like it's insane to have anybody else above him because of obviously what he's done in the past. And I'm not sitting here, trying to rain on Justin Jefferson parade. He's a great receiver. He is a number one receiver in the league that's going to get his money sooner or later. But I say as an overall receiver, if you was a coach and you had those two guys on your board, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, I'm pretty sure 9 out of 10 is taking Jamar Chase over Justin Jefferson just because of the variety of things that Jamar Chase can do for you on the football field. Physicality doesn't bother him. I'm sorry that y'all in denial, but Justin Jefferson is affected by physicality.
No, I ain't in disagreement with that. I mean, I can see that from when he get tackled. Jamar he's a buff receiver. Like he's one of them strong receivers.
Tree trunk legs.
His arms his arms are big as hell. Yeah, bro. Like
I respect it. It's not like I'm looking at that as like the worst thing in the world. I mean, at this point, we're in the top 5. We're splitting hairs with these guys. Like it's certain things that we value more, that we put in a whole lot more emphasis on for each guy, and other things that we're kind of holding others back that keeps them from that top spot. I mean, it's subjective, as we can see how different all of our lists are, but I don't
think we heard from Ari yet, Charles.
Oh yeah, what's your 5, Mark?
Me? All right, so we starting from 5. So I'm gonna go Devontae Adams. Wait, I'm tripping. I'm gonna go CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, then Jamar Chase.
Nigga, so you had him one and you been arguing with me?
Wait, why did you?
He was arguing with me. He had Jamar at 1 the whole time.
I thought we was locked in, Mar. What happened?
Because I sat here and I thought about it. I was thinking of everything that Jamar had, like, and I'm not knocking Justin Jefferson, but I just sat down and I thought about it, and I was like, out of all these videos of receivers I done watched, he's always been like, I'm like, damn, okay, like, that's live. Like, I want to run routes like that. Like, I like his route running ability. I like his release. Like, just how he moves, how he aggressively catches the ball. Like, he's a strong receiver. He's a strong physical receiver. I mean, I was thinking about it, bro. He's like a pack-a-punch receiver. Like, that nigga has everything you really need. And I was like, damn. And I'm not saying Justin Jefferson and the other receivers don't, but it's just like, it's Jamar. I ain't gonna lie. I was thinking about it. I'm like, damn. Like,
it really just seemed like you changed it on the fly. You for sure didn't have him at first.
That's
crazy. I had Justin Jefferson first. I did. I was thinking,
I knew it. I'm like, there's no way he changed. Like, he was just arguing with me. But Charles, like, I'm not even mad about him changing. You know what that just goes to show? If you can give a good take and come with some type of, some type of analysis and good points, you can persuade the side, people coming to your side. I'm pretty sure
it ain't even about coming to slides. It's just about me, like,
it's just about you switching.
But if I was to never go first and Amari was to give his list, would Amari have Justin Jefferson first or would he have Jamar first? If
you had Justin Jefferson first.
Exactly. So like if I was to never go and give my take on Jamar Chase, his list would realistically be Justin 1, Jamar 2. So I guess that just, like they say, as the founder of CDS podcast, I take real pleasure in knowing that the facts and analysis that I came through with today persuaded Mari to the right side.
Bro.
It's crazy. I'm solo dolo, but I'm standing 10 toes over here.
Hey man, what? This is gonna make a hell of a segment. This is
Oh,
gonna make a hell of a segment.
It's gonna be hella clips off of this.
Who you telling?
For real. But all right, man. That's all we got for y'all today.
Hey, all we got. Episode 11, Check the Stats podcast, man. Shooting to you today. The date.
Your camera froze.
Face that. Hey, froze. I'm talking about froze. I'm like, I know you seen the fan. I was like,
oh no, I ain't shit. No, but it started moving.
They just looking at me.
It started looking like it's pixelated now. That's what I'm trying to say.
Man, Check the Stats podcast, episode 11, man. We coming with you with more bangers, more interesting controversy, and just know we got a special treat for y'all. We're gonna announce it sooner or later on our social media platforms, but Check the Stats podcast has, we have a lot in store. We can't wait to drop more episodes, these more clips. We're starting streaming on Twitch. Subscribe to the Twitch channel, CDS Streams _. We're gonna put that down in the link in the description. Charles, Mario, I got anything else y'all want to say before we end it off?
Hey man, you already know what I'm gonna say. If you need the facts, check the stats.
Hey, Charles ain't been giving no type of facts.
Hey,
Charles been cooked all day. I know he be tired.
Cook by who?
What they say you looking at him?
Man, whatever. You already know how I'm coming. I got the public on my side.
They say, a good sports analyst is never lacking.
Oh yeah, I got it on in the room right now.
Man, hey, appreciate y'all for the support, man. Like, comment, subscribe, Hey, keep rocking with us, man. We got a lot of store for y'all, like TK said, and we're gonna keep on bringing y'all that heat. So yeah, check the stats. We out.